Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at the First Aid Essentials 299 piece first aid kit. Alright everybody, thanks for joining me today. Now, I'm not normally a fan of pre-made first aid kits because I feel that you should be able to make your own and customize it for your own uses. And plus, pre-made first aid kits always kind of go light on important stuff. Things like, stopping bleeding, things like tourniquets, anything like that. They don't generally have them, or if they do, it's a terribly, inferior product. I've seen some first aid kits with tourniquets in them, supposedly, that are nothing more than a little red strap with a little plastic little hook on it that no way is going to stop bleeding, a serious arterial bleed or something. So when I came across this, I was kind of, but this has some good building blocks in it. And for someone who maybe isn't into having a full-on tactical first aid kit, or for something like a day hike kit or a camp kit, this, the way it is pretty good. Maybe you want to add a few things, and we'll get to those at the end of the video. But pretty much, it's a pretty decent kit. Now, the 299 does include every single Band-Aid, so it's not like there's 299 different types of things in here. I'm going to open it up and I'm going to give you a look at it. And the reason I'm showing this is normally this is $15.05. It is now on sale for $10.99. So for $11, you can have a pretty good basic building block to start with. Now, as a new prepper, for somebody who's just getting started out and maybe wants a first aid kit for their bug out bag or their vehicle, or maybe even for their home, you may not have any first aid supplies. I've been in homes that don't even have Band-Aids. So if you're looking for something to start with, this is a good start. The reason it's good is because you may not know what you need to store. I mean, when I first started this out, I had zero medical experience. Why would I need a tourniquet? I'm not going to cut my leg open, That's the kind of thinking I had. And this kind of lets you know what you need to start with. There are some things I'd upgrade. There are some things I'd add. And again, we'll get to that at the end. But I think it's a pretty cool kit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything out here and kind of lay it out and let you see what's in here. And we'll go from there. Now, as I said before, a lot of this is very, very basic stuff. Most of us will look at this and be like, I wouldn't use that, or I'd upgrade that. But for somebody that doesn't know what they're doing, this is a good entry-level kit. So we're going to start off on this side here, and I kind of have them in the way that it was in the bag so I don't have trouble repacking it. There are some latex-free bandages in here, so anybody that has eye allergies, I'm looking at the iPad. Anybody that has latex allergies can use the Band-Aids. I believe there's an entire row underneath here that's all latex-free. You do have burn gel and stuff on this side. First aid burn cream. You've got your aspirin and non-aspirin. Ibuprofen, and what's the bottom one here? I didn't see that. And more non-aspirin. So you've got a good kind of start here. Me personally, and again, this goes into customizing your kit. I use Aleve a lot. I'd probably put some Aleve in here in a small little baggie or something. And that's where you start customizing it. When you see these pain relievers and go, I don't really use ibuprofen. Maybe I want to use this instead. Or maybe I want to put a few Motrin in here. Or Tylenol PM. Or who knows. Whatever you use, that's where you start customizing your kit. You do have trauma pads in here. You have sterile gauze dressings. So there is a little bit up from a regular first aid kit. It still isn't going to be a full-on trauma kit, but it is a little bit upgraded from that. Now, we're going to go with this side, and that's all this stuff over here. And this is where we get into some things that I'd probably upgrade. First of all, and I will be upgrading these. That's why I have them sitting on the counter. I don't care if they're sterile or not. These are plastic, and as they could probably do the job, but I'm going to upgrade these to a pair of stainless steel tweezers that I have inside my my storeroom. So, while they're okay, I'd probably upgrade them. The EMT shears, we're going to be upgrading those. If you guys have ever seen EMT shears, they just look like a bigger version of this, but these are way too tiny. I don't think you'd be cutting through somebody's pant leg or whatever. They are sharp, I can feel the sharpness in them, but they're just too small for a kit like this. I would put in a full-size ones. Even if they're not expensive, I'd put in a better pair. And lastly, they do have something in here I would upgrade, and that is this disposable thermometer, if you've ever seen these. I'd probably keep this in here because it weighs next to nothing, but I'd probably put a digital thermometer in here as well. So if I need to take somebody's temperature over a long period of time, I'm not using this for one use and tossing it out. If you're in your car and you suspect your child has a fever and you want to see if it's gone down, well, guess what? You've used your one time, that's it. So you got the option of either getting more of these or putting a digital in. Digital thermometers are so cheap now. I think they're like $1.99 in some stores. I've seen them. I've actually seen them at the dollar store, at the Dollar Tree, for $1. So I'll upgrade that too. There are some cotton swabs in here, some moleskin, which is nice for your feet. Again, this I'd probably upgrade. This is a small little compact gauze dressing. I'd probably put another bigger one in and possibly an Israeli bandage. And you've got your latex. Are these latex free? Yeah, nitrile latex free gloves. You've got an instant cold pack. This stuff, if you've ever used it, you know this is like the only tape in the world that does not stick to anything. And the more emergency and the more you're bleeding, and it definitely will stick less and less. So there's nothing wrong with sticking a small roll of duct tape in here, or better emergency tape. If you have some better kind of tape, because that stuff that comes in these kits never seems to stick well. All right, on this side, we've got antibiotic ointment. We've got about 5 of them. Sting relief pad. These actually do work very well. I used one on a bee sting, a hornet sting actually. I stepped on a half live, half dead hornet that was on the floor right here. I was dumb enough to be out here without shoes on, and I stepped right on it. And these do work well because I have a first aid kit out here underneath. You got your alcohol antiseptic pads. A note about these. These do work very well, but in a situation where you're really going to have heavy bleeding or you want to clean up an area, you're going to go through more than you think. And these also dry up very quickly in a hot vehicle. So if this is a car kit, you're going to want to check these every few months, change them out, open up one, see if it's wet. You can buy an entire box of them at Walmart for, I think, $1.70 or $2. They're not a high, expense item. Tongue depressors, probably we'll keep them in there. You never know. They are handy to have. And you have the BZK antiseptic towelettes. These work very well for cleaning an area that possibly was injured. Not possibly that was injured. And this right here is probably the most useful thing in the whole kit, because a lot of times you're not going to know what to do. I had the larger version of this from when I took a Red Cross class a few years ago, and it does give you some good information, how to check for breathing, how to do CPR, diabetic emergencies. So there is good information in here. Might be worthwhile to read this before you go and use the kit, Anyway, and you got an emergency blanket here. So you've got a pretty decent kit all in all. It's well put together, well thought out for a pre-packed kit, Some of the things I'd probably add, again, like I said, would be any kind of, if you guys take any kind of daily medication, anybody who takes cholesterol meds, blood pressure, anything like that, I'd probably stick a few of those in here. If you take like nitro for your heart or anything for emergencies, definitely put a few in here. I'd probably put in, like I said, an Israeli bandage. I might add a cat tourniquet to it. Again, I tend to take these things a little bit, further than most people. So if I'm going to have this in my vehicle, I would add a cat tourniquet to it. And I'd probably add some of my preferred OTC pain meds. Like Aleve and Advil, stuff like that. I would probably add in, again, my wife has stuff for her migraines, so I'd probably add a pill of that in there. So I'd probably add that in there. And call it good, It's never going to be, you're never going to have a perfect kit. You're not an EMT, you're not going to come out with a big, toolbox. But for everyday cuts and scrapes, even some minor bad abrasions, you're going to do pretty good here. Now the kit breaks down into a bunch of different groups. There's cuts and scrapes. You've got burns and swelling, which is your burn cream, and the swelling again with that. And you've got pain, which is temporary relief of minor aches and pains with headaches, muscle aches, whatever. And you've got that stuff here down here at the medications. So all in all, I'm pretty impressed with it. And for $11, can you go wrong? You really can't. You can always add things to it. And like I said, there's some stuff here I'll toss out when this video's over, which like this. I have enough EMT shears where I could throw a real set in there. So that's just some of the stuff I'd upgrade. But other than that, you're getting a pretty decent deal. So I want to thank you guys for watching today. I'm going to put a link down below where you can pick this kit up for $10.99, 11 bucks basically. And you can check out the store there. Underneath that link, our Amazon store. If there's nothing in the store you like, just shop as you normally would. Doesn't cost you anything extra. Helps out our channel a little bit. And don't forget to check out our Thrive Life link down below. If you guys are interested in getting started in some food storage with some freeze-dried foods, Thrive Life really does have the best stuff out there. So thanks for watching, folks. Stay safe and stay prepared.